What type of buildings use strip foundations? Solid response. Low rise is a valid choice. Dash would be included in site preparation. Exactly. Grading and leveling makes sense and it is right choice. Which of the following is a measuring tool? Right again. All the above is a valid answer. Which is a non-renewable source of energy? You're right. Gas turbine is the correct answer. What foundation type is shown in figure 1? Nice work. You chose strip and it is correct. Where would you find a herringbone strut? Perfect. Between floor joists is the correct choice. The term used to express frequency is dash. Clear logic? Your choice hertz is sound and 100% true. The framing of a house is done by the dash. Smart move. Carpenter is an accurate answer. Cladding on the outside of a house ensures. Great thinking. It is weatherproof is the right choice. Which operation is classed as second fix?
Good job. Your answer, Architraves, works well here.
Which of these is disadvantages of metal? Well done. Secondary operations is the right choice.
A mixture of stone, sand, water, and cement.
Great job. Concrete is the accurate answer. Which of the following is not a utility? Valid point. It is true. Magnetism created by an electric current. You chose electromagnetism, and it is correct. To complete a circuit, the switch must be well reasoned. Closed is the correct choice. A loan for the purchase of any building. You got it. Your choice mortgage is right. What material are Loloc nails made from? Good thinking. Wood is the right answer. The purpose of a DPM is to protect the. Nice selection. Floor is the correct and valid answer. Which of the following would be vented? Strong choice. Soffit is the right answer. What are brick or wood bricks made from? Right choice. Douglas firwood is the best answer. What is the purpose of staining boards? Smart pick. All of the above is the correct choice. A knot on a board is caused from what? Excellent choice. Branch is the right answer. P is an acronym that stands for dash. Sharp thinking. Personal protective equipment is the right choice. A function of superstructure. Correct. All of them is the right answer. Metric rulers have how many divisions? Nicely done. 10 is a solid answer. If you have long hair, it must be 1. Bravo. Up is the answer. The flow of electricity in a circuit. On track. Current is the correct answer. The first stage of a construction is well picked. Initiation of proposal is the correct answer. What are the 3 parts of a board? Correct response. Face, end, edge is the most accurate answer. What handsaw cuts across the grain? Excellent. Crosscut is a brilliant choice.
Which is not a dimension of a board?
Smart move. Depth is an accurate answer.
What does the soffit board protect? You got it. Your choice, Eves, is right.
Dash stops the flow of electricity. Solid response. An insulator is a valid choice.
Furring strips would be used where?
Right choice. On a flat roof is the best answer.
What does the stand for in BIM?
Nice work. You chose modeling, and it is correct.
The flow of electricity requires a.
Good job. Your answer complete path works well here.
A path made by a moving point is a.
Clear logic. Your choice line is sound and 100% true.
The top part of a tree is called. You chose the crown, and it is correct. What type of floor is suspended?
Perfect. Block and beam is the correct choice.
A non-renewable energy resource.
Correct. Gas is the right answer.
Concrete gains strength due to.
On track. Accelerators is the correct answer.
The plastic around the wire is.
Excellent. Insulator is a brilliant choice.
Lowest support of a structure.
Exactly. Foundation makes sense and it is right choice.
Electric shock can cause dash.
Sharp thinking. All of the above is the right choice.
How often is the neck updated?
Right again. Every 3 years is a valid answer.
What kind of bridge is this?
Nice selection. Cable-stayed bridge is the correct and valid answer. Which one is not an animal? Great thinking. ONAB is the right choice.
2 types of circuits are.
Correct response. Series and parallel is the most accurate answer.
Which one is not a roof?
Well reasoned. Open void is the correct choice.
Shallow foundations are.
Valid point. 2m below ground is true. What is half of 716?
Great job. 732 is the accurate answer. Computer-aided design.
Well done. CAD is the right choice.
10 plus 9, 30, 16 plus 734 equal to.
Well picked. 269375 is the correct answer.
GIF stands for dash.
Good thinking. Ground fault circuit interrupter is the right answer.
What does CPR mean?
Strong choice. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation is the right answer.
5 and a 7 and 8 plus 6, 3, 4 equal to.
You're right. 20.615 is the correct answer.
Fine aggregates are.
Bravo. Smaller than 5 mm is the answer.
What is aggregate?
Smart pick. Sand, gravel, chippings is the correct choice. What is 241014? 19.75 is a solid answer.
Full form of lugs.
Excellent choice. Light gauge steel frame is the right answer.
How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format. Well done. Contact Narayan Chengder is the right choice.